Alright, we're going to be watching Kablard, who's playing Lucio. This is Gold 3 on PS5, so console. They were previously Plat 2, had some lost streaks, they've fallen down to Gold 3. At times in both games I pushed a lot, but I felt like I need to create some space since nobody else on the team was willing to do that. That's really not your job. This is on PS5/console, so my aim is what it is, and I'm mostly looking for tips on game sense stuff, not so much on the mechanical side. I mean, it's a first-person shooter. If you're missing shots, I'm still gonna highlight that, but we'll see what we can do regarding game sense, etc. So we're gonna start here. Lucio is a very tricky hero, honestly. I think he's quite difficult to play. The primary reason being it's sometimes not clear whether or not you're actually doing your job or not, compared to like a lot of heroes. Like, you know, if you're playing Ana or Kiriko or whatever and you're healing people, you're like, oh, I'm doing something, right? Or you're damaging, you're doing something. But Lucio is a lot more about positioning, and that can be very, very hard to know what position to be in, right? Like if you look at your Ryan right now, is your Ryan in position or is he out of position right now? Is your Ryan going to need speed or not? That's very, very tough to say and highly contextual. And I think that's one of the reasons why I do not recommend that new players pick up Lucio at all, because he's very, very hard to play. All right, so let's watch. Gates have opened. You're just hanging out over here. This is already a wrong call. You should be playing, for example, over here on the left, right? Or even low ground with your Ryan would be okay. Anything that allows you to start spamming. Your perspective should be to farm beat as fast as humanly possible. Really, really, really fast. Very, very important to farm beat. Always be farming beat. Constantly spam, spam, spam. Get beat. Right? 20 damage per shot, 80 damage per burst. That's not trivial. And the projectiles are big. Okay, so your Ryan gets walled off here. What should you do? You should immediately get around the wall and give him speed so he can get out of this. Right? You see how you're so slow to react here. The moment this wall goes up, immediately speed, right? Speed, jump, hit here, amp, get the Ryan out. Alright, this is just not the right call at all. Alright, so right here, your Baptista's gonna die. So when you see the D.Va going right now, Hanzo you can't do anything about, but we see D.Va going right now, you're going way too far back. Like, why are you playing this far back? Right? You're not really a backline character. Most of your abilities have to have teammates relatively close to you, so you should be right here with the rest of your team, and you should have booped back that D.Va to save your Baptiste. Though actually it's the Hanzo that kills him anyway. So I think that you've already made two mistakes here. Your aim is no good. That Zen moving in a straight line should be an easy hit. Like, I don't necessarily expect you to kill him here, but you definitely should hit more than 2 out of 8. Like, you see how you're completely missing the spam? Again, you're like going back right now, but you can't be going back. Also, you saw the Hanzo get walk in the trap right there. You saw the damage, right? Easy kill, right? Just shoot him in the head. Oh, this is bad. This is really bad. Okay, so you barely kill this Hanzo. Okay. Alright, so my take from this is, to be perfectly blunt, you can't aim and you can't move. Both of these went really poorly. So starting from here, like everything was like sort of not great already, but right here, this Hanzo is stationary, okay? He literally is caught in a trap. So at a minimum, if we forget like, oh, like you can't hit targets that are moving, okay, fine. But he is actually stationary. So you should definitely be able to hit him. So he should have been dead right now. Your shot should have killed him. But even right here, you try booping him, which is a mistake, because that actually knocks him away from you, which slows down your ability to kill him. So that's problem number 2. Then right here, you melee, even though you're too far away. I also don't think your melee would have killed him. Yeah, he's just a little bit too much health. So melee does 30 damage. So he is 35, so your melee wouldn't have killed him anyway. You should have shot him instead of meleeing. And you were outside of melee range. Now that you go over here, right, you get lit up. Very lucky that he does not kill you right there. You manage to kill him. Then you see the Zen when you turn around, and you run straight at this Zen's face. Okay, so again, see you can go right here. You hear/see it. I hope you're wearing a headset and have directional audio. You go straight into his face, and you should be dead right now. And then you boop, and then you're gonna die. So I think that you have a lot of mechanical issues. It's not just your aim. Like, your overall, like, hey, I see an enemy, what should I do? Game sense is not there. My guess here is you do not look like somebody, like, we've only watched, like, 30 seconds of gameplay. You don't look like somebody who's familiar with playing competitive shooters. So, like you'll get a lot better at this, but right now I feel like you're probably like 100+ hours away from being able to play at a more typical level of shooters, just because I think you need a lot more experience. This is another good example, right? So D.Va's right here. So D.Va comes in. D.Va does a lot of damage. D.Va does 217 damage per second, not including headshots, at close range. This would qualify as close range. So what you should do right here is you should speed and get your Hanzo out of this room with the D.Va. Instead, what you end up doing is that you amp healing, which is not the worst plan, and then you run in a straight line at this D.Va, who could have just killed you instantly right there. And it is very lucky that she did not. So, trying to go after the D.Va, I don't know that this is a great idea. I mean, it's not the worst, but it's okay. So, here goes low. Yep, it's a good idea, shooter. Yep. I think that was pretty good, actually. You land a few hits here, and then a boop. Yep. And then if you could follow up, and that would be great. But like that's not worth. Like this missing, I'm okay with. It's not a big deal. Like missing people who are trapped, not acceptable. So I would not get aggressive here because their spawn is right here. So even if you get a kill, like it doesn't matter, right? They're just gonna come out again right away, and your spawn is so far away. Right? Like, it's crazy far away. So you're taking yourself out of this fight for no reason. So you should just not be dying to stuff like that. Like, it's not, there's no actual risk there. The risk-reward ratio was very, very poor.
This beat will heal you up.
I would be very careful standing in a straight line. So look at this from this perspective. So you see how you're basically moving in a straight line? So if someone's looking at you, they'll kill you very easily. And like the Hanzo, for example, could shoot an arrow there and kill you. Okay, so now you're looking for a flank kill, which I think is probably not a great idea. I think it is possible if you had great mechanics. I don't feel like you have the mechanics to back it up. Also, you can hear the Kiriko on your right now, right? And you should be going for her, if anything. But going up behind the team here is actually crazy. And you die right away. Again, I don't know what your background is. I don't know how many hours you have in the game, but it looks like you have not played much Overwatch. I would guess that you have less than 25 hours on Lucio and like less than 100 hours of competitive play, because you should not flank in that situation. Like, you should just play with your team, right? Because like you just gotta pick here, or almost gotta pick there. You get stuck here, but just playing with your team, keeping everybody alive, like forcing the D.Va and the Maybach, I think that adds a lot more value than what you end up doing, which is just feeding your life away. So they're going to cap here, nothing you can do about that. You should take high ground right now. Again, you should not walk in a straight line. Sure, use that to shoot through. You should switch to healing right now because your rep piece is very low. Okay, you saw the Zen fire the orbs from the right, so you're like this Zen you should challenge right now for sure. Like letting him just free fire your team in the side is what leads to deaths. See how no one else is dealing with him? Right? That's on you to control that. So if you want to talk about creating space, like that's actually the space you should control, because the Zen's very overextended in that alley. The D.Va's on the left side, so the D.Va couldn't help the Zen.
Tactical visor activated.
Yeah, I would probably switch to speed here to let your soldier get in faster, and then switch to healing as he starts taking damage. Okay, soldier wins you a fight. I would be very careful about doing this. You don't have a well-tuned, you don't have a well-tuned sense of danger. Like, I don't think you actually know how much danger you are in right here. I think that you were very surprised that all of a sudden you started taking damage. You're like, oh shoot, I should walk away. That should never have happened. Just understanding that a Zen was in the game, and plus hearing the charge up of the orbs. Like, you would have heard the charge up. You would hear the charge up right now, right? Is when you would hear it. And so you would hear charge, and you'd hear that coming closer and closer and closer, and you should immediately get around the corner. That way this doesn't happen to you, because he could have killed you very easily. So you're gonna pop beat right here, which is not necessary. As you can see, the Bastion dies anyway, but also your ball can get away from the Bastion very easily. He's near cover. I do not think you beat there, so this is a huge waste of beat. Yep, spam the Bastion. So, yeah, more movement problems. I'm just not going to bother highlighting them anymore. And then you end up dying here. Oh yeah, you just go straight in. So, one thing I think that you should really think about is, why did you make this decision? Okay, what did you see that made you think that diving into 3 people in front of their spawn, if 2 people were respawning, was a good idea? And did you accomplish your objective? Right? What was your objective to begin with? Because it feels like you don't really know what you're supposed to be doing as Lucio, right? Which is, again, complicated, because I think Lucio's job changes game to game. But at a minimum, I would say just stay with your team, right? Just stay with your team, keep people alive. Spam, build beat, right? Let's keep it very simple right now. You should use speed right now to get your Baptiste down. Nope. Like, that's a great example of how complex Lucio should be. What you should have done right now is give speed to your Baptiste and then sit at this corner and then try to get your Baptiste out. If you can't make it, great, just sit around the corner, right? But give him a chance to survive here instead of no chance. That's your job as Lucio. Like, those are the plays that you need to recognize to do the right thing. Which is why I think Lucio is very, very hard to play if you're new to the game, because it needs a tremendous amount of game knowledge to do the job correctly, or even half decently, I should say. I think this part is all fine.
60 seconds.
So, I don't really know why you're playing left side, unless you think that there's somebody's going to push your left side and you're trying to hold it. Again, going to the middle of their enemy team, like in their front, is what is going to lead to you dying. So, this is tricky because you're down 2 people right now. Your Hanzo is dead, just respond, and your Baptiste is dead. And you could have died before hitting the ground here. And your ball is not even here. I mean, he gets it all the way over here, thankfully. But this is not a great beat. I think you really wanted to pop beat before anyone started dying. Okay.
30 seconds.
So it's unfortunate. I think here is yeah, I mean, this is a great example. If you've been playing with your team over here, right, high ground, you fall down with your Bastion or with your Hanzo, you heal or speed them out, like, he lives. You know? Like, these deaths are all preventable by you.
Double kill.
Let them out.
Yeah, I mean, this part's just clean up. Alright, so let's figure out how offense goes.
Attackers in.
Moving the cart, spamming, this is all fine. You're amping for no reason right now. I don't know why you're amping. This is no good. Generally try to shoot D.Va from the sides or behind her if she has defense matrix up. That way your shots aren't absorbed. Do not get that close to D.Va, because D.Va does a lot more damage at close range, but you do not do more damage at close range. So you can play from further than that. You should kill this turret. Stop jumping. The turret cannot miss you, by the way. So don't worry about jumping and try to be evasive. Like, it literally can't miss you.
You remember that turret? Me neither. Get lost.
Alright, good kill on the Torb. So don't frontline like this. This will lead to death. Like, you're just very lucky that this Junkrat is not even trying to kill you, which is confusing. I don't even know why he's not trying to kill you. Right, he's got 2 concussive mines right now. Gets that kill. This is a good kill on the Ana, or Kiriko, whoever you end up killing here. I think this is a reasonable job distracting. I think that you are. I guess you didn't kill anybody. Again, I think you're putting yourself in way too much danger, and I don't think you know what danger looks like. Like, I feel like if I pause the game right here, I'll be like, are you in danger or not? I don't think you know how to answer that question, right? And if you're right here, like, are you in danger or not? I don't think you think about this at all. Obviously killed by the trap. You have beat coming. You're gonna die this. No, this is a huge mistake. If you get trapped, like, there's almost no way you're gonna get the beat off in time. Which, again, it doesn't feel like you're super comfortable with Lucio, so you don't really know, like, how long beat takes to come out. But it's a pretty long time. If you're standing still in vision of them, you're gonna die long before the beat's gonna come out. This is a massive throw. That is a huge resource to be wasting. Beat is the longest charging ultimate in the game. So, losing beat for nothing is a big deal.
How's that for sound therapy?
60 seconds remaining.
You want that? Look at this payload go! Get into the groove. Nice exhibition for a change. I think we can use some.
30 seconds remaining.
So you're down your Baptiste, still just spamming. The reason why I'm not saying this is, like, there's nothing really interesting happening. Your Pharah's in on them. So when you see your Pharah go in like this, now's the time you want to go, right? This is the moment where you should be going in and contesting this. Okay, like, Tire's coming out, but, like, what are you going to do about it? Like, going up here is a big mistake. You should be helping your Pharah get those kills. No, just play the corner. Torb's low.
10 seconds.
This is a terrible beat. You're clearly not looking at kill feed at all.
10 seconds.
Right? Two people, all three people were dead before you popped that beat. Like, this literally, there's nobody here. Look,
10 seconds
right now.
remaining.
See? Everyone is dead. Okay. So, I'm gonna pause there because I don't think it's super valuable for me to keep watching the rest of the video. This is kind of my take. Number one, I would say you don't look experienced at Overwatch. Number two, you don't look experienced at competitive shooters. And number three, I don't think you look experienced at Lucio either. I think that you overextend a lot. I don't think you understand danger. I don't think you play cover. I don't think you think about saving your teammates, except by healing them. You don't think about, like, repositioning them, either by speeding them out or booping away dangerous enemies. Doesn't appear to be something you look for. And I think your beats are really, really bad. Again, beat is most helpful when used in a fight that is even and turn it into winnable. And commonly, beat is used to counter DPS or tank ultimates. So, like, Grav, Visor, Death Blossom, etc. Like, those are what beat is often used for. Not just randomly beating when you're losing, when you're down like one or two players is not a good situation typically to be beating. Or, like, beating when you're in a trap, for example. So I think let's not get too complicated here, and let's just keep things, like, pretty straightforward. Because if this was on PC, the PC equivalent of this would be bronze, for sure. I think this would be, like, mid to low bronze. So I think that you're at the level, like, if you think, like, to compare yourself, if you're going to look at other, for example, other VOD reviews that I have, I think that you should think of it that way, as a bronze equivalent to PC. Because nobody in this game, including your teammates and the enemy team, look like they're very familiar with Overwatch, is my general read here. So you can get away with a lot of stuff simply because nobody really knows what's going on. So again, let's stick with those straightforward tips for now, and hopefully that helps you.